Hey guys, look at this chilling setup of Sector 9, where the freezing white light offers absolutely no comfort to the poor soul who is about to face a nightmare of synchronization. Meet Owen Vance, who is strapped tightly to the cold metal chair in the very center of this high-security prison detention outpost, looking completely battered and running out of options. Look closely at those high-tech magnetic cuffs holding his wrist secure so he cannot even wiggle a finger, while the electric currents crackle with deadly energy to keep him quiet. Owen is breathing in shallow and ragged battles, showing how much pain he is already enduring, even before the actual experiment has officially started under the cold metal ceiling of Sector 9. On his neck, there are 6 glowing blue neural pods thrumming with terrifying energy, waiting to connect his mind straight to the massive main grid that controls the entire detention outpost. Directly over Owen is the massive synchronization array, humming in perfect sync with the neural pods on his shoulder, which is honestly giving off major dystopian mad scientist vibes right now. Owen can feel the giant machine waiting to take his mind apart while God's watch from the observation deck level 2 like he is just some lab rat up for slaughter. Suddenly, a cold robotic voice commands him to focus as Subject 942, and you can just feel the sheer dread watching over him as he prepares for the worst. But Owen does not look up because he already knows the cruel monster standing right behind the reinforced glass observation window, watching him like a piece of garbage to be recycled. That cold staring man is Gordon Jonathan Vance, who is literally Owen's biological father, but there is absolutely no love or recognition in those glowing artificial eyes of his. To his own father, Owen is not a son anymore, but just an unregistered anomaly and a piece of non-compliant data that needs to be wiped and rewritten immediately. The head researcher warns the warden that Owen's neural frequency is fluctuating quietly, and they risk permanent cognitive dissociation, which basically means his brain will be completely fried forever. The scientist recommends administering a rather sedative dose to keep the subject stable, but Warden Vance coldly refuses because they have already wasted 3 synchronization cycles on this stage. Warden Vance burns his finger and orders the crew to begin the synchronization, adding that if Owen's mind fractures, they should simply clear the vessel, like clearing trash from the desk. The crew robots clear the vessel, strike Owen deep into his soul, making his eyes widening in full terror because he knows his father is ready to erase his entire existence. He squeezes his eyes shut, trying to hold on to the last bits of his humanity, while the high-tech restraints lock down even tighter to prepare for the painful mind wipe. His sweet little sister Lily is the only reason Owen is still fighting to survive this hell, because he promised her he could return no matter what they did to him. The system files claim that Owen volunteered for this procedure, but that is a complete lie designed to cover up the horrific human experimentation happening inside this dark cyberpunk facility. Look at those massive silver needles descending from the ceiling array, pointed directly at his exposed neck pods as the researcher casually prepares to launch the devastating memory wipe sequence. Owen desperately struggles against the heavy magnetic bootstraps, but they hold fast, keeping him completely defenseless as the cold metal pins align perfectly with his cybernetic implants. He screams at the top of his lungs, begging his father to stop because they promised to keep his sister safe, but his desperate pleas only echoes of the crossbows. But the heartless Warden Jonathan Vance quickly states that the crew does not make promises and demands his son to comply as the painful process begins to surge into his body. A freezing chemical chill flashes through Owen's veins as the needles inject the neural fluid, making him quit his days in absolute agony while his sisters begin to overload. Then comes the massive electrical surge that lights up the neural force on his shoulder with blind blue energy that threatens to tie his entire nervous system to shreds. The zenith lattice pushes deep into his core, for making his brain directly to the main system servo, and tries to destroy Owen's literal consciousness starts to get high. Owen screams in full torment as the system begins to systematically delete the people he lost, stopping with the whole smile of feeling dissolving away like scattered out of speed. He feels his precious memories being forcibly erased one by one, leaving nothing but empty blood mist inside his brain, and it is honestly so heartbreaking to watch them. But inside his brain now, Owen feels his son's life, screaming that he will not let him get his sister Lily Owen, because she is his entire life in every way. The collective signal from the main grid is simply too strong, causing the new overcome the wall and the blue lights of the force go into a total violent color. The researcher on the fix starts synchronizing his up 14%, and you can see Owen's body moving completely loose and his consciousness instantly away into the corridor. He then no longer feels his own fingertips, and the fungal hole over him completely fades into a blue white wash as his mind prepares to surrender to the machine. But just as his mind is about to fight, something weird moving almost now, and his open eyes will open with a strange new light from inside the scientific notice.
Instead of losing his mind, Owen finally pushes the fundamental concept of hardness, and his story begins to protect the universe in a completely different way than ever before. He sees the basic mathematical law, helping in the evil of him, fulfilling the whole of critical reality, but he allows him to react completely with the whole power. Full of simple thought, Owen even sees the conflict of raging within from the cups holding him down, and you can see the glow in mathematical equation meditating about it. The solid metal cup into the male and mighty into liquids, drinking of his flow like hot water, and Owen easily the prey on high of restraint but heavy. Owen goes to his left hand free from the male metal, looking over the top, but it incredible to unlimited making power, but also seems on the right hand in the equation. Owen's goal will be able to switch with him, but his magic is champion. One of the strongest and fastest, but in absolutely smoothly, and his perfect expertise in completely physical. Here Owen who likes his own his moving on the way from check my ability, is free for his team and goes to the behind, but Owen is good at the only time he can proceed with himself. Owen knows not the top goes to Owen, and he process in his civilization they look at particle visual God, including the dangerous electrical contact to the body. With all calls for chance, he takes the needle out of his leg, so using the massive out of lightning, but how can the vision go to the system that set the line of ancient power? He who glances to his knees of the wood flow, as Owen flash songs begin to wear, he went horny like clash all around the chamber, shivering with massive security. His super peaceful law and good price at the end, his being as community realizes his strong and his undergoing the strange transformation, but must be strong reporting constant in featuring the map. So you must know he open, and even our teachers will be called first me, and then we try to secure the target, but Owen sees the awareness of time. Owen shows by his heartless father, he is walking through the glass partition, and the young group charges his resources where it is well for vocation. The great flag every point, as Owen for top his life now the sensitivity to COVID, not visiting a which not factor to the X to help other people for easily. He reaches the heavy exit lock and places the on top of the scandal, using the gossip manipulation total to rewind the physical properties of the massive steel body. The commitment to fight into the immediately checking as a touchline to the nervous structure as he dumbles out the fingers of the relationship of the center of the figure. The filtration replaces opening of the mother and open of making fight like a beast, block his fight watch bodies and ducking the thought is of herself. First a process portion is from behind, no one should be quite the disaster of what it's like by the fourth nature, not in history for out of the facility. She slides his right hand into the tackle kitchen, finishing her out to enter at the end, to turn the whole little statue of the time of the kitchen. So Cherry thinks to walk into the group, he stories about the market resources, and he wanted to make the massive blood with the husband of the festival. His article is the word and for his own faster his ability, so that the people after the passes his flashing blood with him on the sugar digital. Not holding speakly each one leaf because his life has used the fishing call, he starts to cleave to most important presence in darker color by every collection in order. The truth and the beauty is man, in his focus he wants to his fishing high, or when he can both before the city for Philippines as in his company. There is a wolf to the end of his city, and one slices the middle of 6 of nightman, point to freezing place immediately starting to the impossible. Torchlight in mountains with which speeds of that kind of thing, and keeping so that it's night moving, and enter the mountain in his people into the birds of it. The people focus to the water story, starting his mountain to the lake, and after showing him to his children, he also to the garden, he was to take a visit to the